Hello, everybody, and welcome to another iteration of Tryhard Tuesdays. I am your host, the Grand Wazoo, here with a special guest star. None other than .p's own Roland, my brother.
Hello, everybody. I feel honored to be called a guest star.
Yeah.
Co-host for the time being would suffice.
I view this episode more as like a special episode.
It's special, for sure.
Because it's not going to be so try-hard. We're going to try to work smarter, not harder. Because I don't really have my normal co-host here today. And we don't have a lot prepared. There's kind of things that have been bouncing around my mind about the game. But with school and everything, I haven't had a ton of time to play or get anything going. So we're just kind of going to talk about our frustrations with the game. We're going to kind of discuss our frustrations with the game in general, because it's something I've been thinking about a lot lately, and it's just, maybe it's my own cynicism, but I feel like Reborn has been a bad thing for Dota. I feel like...
You didn't hear the drop, did you? How the percentage drop since Reborn?
There's been a player base drop?
16%.
Wow, that is huge.
Well, from August to September, and I mean, it was right when Reborn rolled out.
It's a glitchy client. Things that were promised never came to.
There are excuses for that, though. That's 16%, but...
Okay. But at the same time, like, things were promised, such as higher frames for lesser hardware. Not seeing it on my hardware. There was promised better latency. Still tons of disconnects. It was promised to have a better cosmetic system, which has not come to. Guilds, something we had people in the very .p community put hundreds and hundreds of hours into, gone. And if any company were to release a new and updated version of their game with lesser features, they would be raked through the coals for it. But Valve kind of has this golden child kind of reputation, where they can ignore people's support tickets and kind of just shit all over everybody, and it's just accepted as okay. And so, I don't know. I want to talk about how that's kind of been affecting my experience, because I feel like it's just been kind of going downhill for me. It feels like the Source 1 client was not only better ran, but it had a better player base. It had a cosmetic system that worked. I don't know. I just kind of want to discuss it. I wonder if it's just purely becoming a competitive tournament type game. And I just wonder if that's all it's going to be. Is that going to be like the core enjoyment is what I mean, like the majors and the international. So what do you think?
I don't know. So I want to add a few remarks.
Okay.
Eric Johnson, right? That's his name?
Yeah, the community manager.
So he went on some news channel. We talked about this yesterday in the news segment and said that, hey, look, we know that we've been ignoring tickets. We know that it's been taking, not ignoring. He didn't put it. He basically, he said they just don't have a big. There's not a lot of people that work there.
When you're a multi-billion-dollar company, Microsoft, something like that gets raked through the fucking coals. Called evil, have like stones thrown at them for something like that. They have the money. They have the money to hire a call center in India filled with thousands of people to just do this shit all day.
Well, I'd hope they wouldn't do that.
Yeah, but they do have the money to do that.
They have the money to open a call center in Seattle.
And pay $15, $16 an hour to everyone who works there.
If not more. Yes, they do. Right now, the thing is he's recognizing the problem is the first step, right? And he did. He was not like trying to make excuses. He was basically like, look, I know it's crazy, right? Like, I don't know. They didn't really need it for a while, and now they're starting to, because they didn't really have a huge online presence. Like, I remember going to Steam when we were younger, and it's like, are you going to put in a ticket for Half-Life 1? Yeah, they could probably handle those tickets. They'd probably, like, know where the bugs are, you know what I mean? Like, when Steam gained a lot of popularity really quickly. So, I don't know.
Yeah,
gotta keep
and
that in mind.
It's a free service that has
Absolutely
a paid base with the games you buy, and then they just created kind of an automated system, and that all started with VAC and the VAC banning stuff. They wanted a system that could quickly identify problems, get the problem out, and it's automated. And they started with the refund system, so they're in their right mind.
And he said that was where he wanted to start, was with the refund system, to make sure that these people that paid all this money didn't get a shitty product. And so they held everybody that made games for them responsible. So, but the 16% drop. I mean, Dota 2 is a cash cow. It's ridiculous. Leave us in Source 1.
I mean, that's another thing I want to talk about. And like I said, guys, this Tryhard episode, because I don't have Blue here, I didn't I didn't feel completely comfortable moving forward with all of our like planned episodes and stuff because I want him here. He adds something analytically I can't do. So we're going to discuss more like a state of the game type episode. So if that's not what you're into, throw your computer out the window now.
It is profitable because about if they are a multi-billion-dollar company, 20% of their revenue came from one event.
There used to be this huge allure to the game for me, and that was cosmetics in a way. Not that I bought a lot of cosmetics, but if I saw something cool, I could hop on the market and I could buy it. Now it feels like with everything being non-marketable, non-tradable, non-whateverable.
Well, you can gift it once. And
even some things aren't giftable out of this new cache.
Yeah.
And I bought this new compendium, and just looking at the level upgrades and stuff, it's like, what is this shit, man? Is what I thought to myself. Like, it's cool and all, but I gain a level every like 10 games. And I don't even get a cache until fucking level 15 or some shit.
No, a guy did the math. Didn't you see that on Reddit? That it is impossible for you, even if you got every compendium challenge, it would only put you at level like 11, and you need level 25 to get a soaring cache.
Yeah, and it's just like, what is this? Are you taking away the marketing aspects, the things that like created a robust economy for this game, just so you can do crap like this? Like, it's so artificial. It makes people spend money. And it takes a game from a free... It doesn't make you, because you don't need the compendium. But if they're going to move it towards this, where the competition aspect is so very important, it makes you feel left out if you don't participate in that way. And you want to donate to this tournament, not that this goes to the tournament itself, but you want to have that. You want to have that collector's item.
Yeah.
Well, and so they've moved away from having...
Yeah, and be like, I was there during that.
All these fucking skins lately, dude, are like... toss-outs from old chess.
They're not, and that's not
the Golem is the coolest thing.
Dude, there's been some shit that's come out by a Nooksy and by a few other workshop artists that have been fucking just out of this world good. I wish that you guys were put in a better system for the hard work that you guys do, and I'm talking to all of the creators of the sets, just because like the Morphling set that Nooksy made, that is just badass, but it almost feels a dime a dozen because you're not hoping for the Morphling set. You're hoping for the very rare, Rubik set, or you're hoping for the very rare Witch Doctor totem for his death, whatever.
There was always an aspect of gambling, but what I liked about it is we could go and we could buy... I could get a soaring cache, you could get a soaring cache, and I play tons of anti-mage, and maybe you play tons of warlock. And if I got not the anti-mage is in that set anyway, but I could be like, oh man, I didn't get what I wanted, but I can trade with you now.
Yeah,
and so...
oh, sweet, dude, because you... Kind of like what Eric was doing at the International.
It's like Pokemon or something.
Like with his plushies. Eric had 4 Juggernauts, and he was like, my Juggernaut is just as good as a Vengeful Spirit, so I'm going to go trade this Juggernaut for a Vengeful Spirit.
I like that you led into that, because the International, and me and Eric, and my brother Roland, and Cyphus, and Blue, and Nameless Noob, and everyone that was at the International, we looked... at the International kind of like a physical representation of all the good aspects of Dota. And there was not a single fight. Everyone was so nice the entire time. And outside where you could watch the International for free, even if you didn't have a ticket, out by the food carts, and there's this huge expanse of grass, everyone was walking around trading for things. Yeah. And I was like, wouldn't it be
great?
And
they gave a table for free.
Exactly.
They gave
a table for free for people to stand at and kind of barter. And it was like a physical representation of Dota 2's trade system gone the best way possible. And I feel like that's been ripped away. And for no reason other than people try to scam and people are spam bots.
People are exploitative. And
but that comes right back down to Valve.
But Valve could create something smarter to combat it.
Not an automated system where it's like, I got scammed. Hello, it's me, your brother. Trade with me. Click this link, www.steen community or something. Yeah. Steen. And then you get scammed out of all your shit. And Valve got tired of that.
Yeah.
And so they created little incentive to do that by making things non-marketable. Not in games like Counter-Strike, mind you, where sometimes a single digital item can go for like $400, $500 in a knife.
Yeah.
But in Dota, where there's so many items that by creating this false standard, you make so many things useless. You make those 60-cent items useless in a way.
Well, yeah. I read another article on Reddit. I'm on Reddit all the fucking time these days.
Me too.
From this economist to be. He's currently in school to be an economist, and he talked about why Valve had to do it. From an economical point of view, why Valve had to do the non-tradable, non-marketable, what they were doing, their lessons in economics, yada, 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 jargon. It's bad for Steam. Or Valve,
it's bad for the bottom line.
I mean,
they don't want to alienate players.
They make a lot more money. I mean, if say you get the set I want and I get the set you want, that they sold 2 chests. But if I have to keep opening it until I get the set I want, and you have to keep opening it until you
that disgusts me. That makes me literally sick.
You
buy it, I'm so tired of this bullshit in gaming in general. You didn't technically purchase the video game product. You technically purchased a license to the video game product. It's like, what happened to going and buying a copy of Half-Life 1, like you mentioned earlier, and having the disc in your hand and being like, here, dude, borrow this. It's badass. Or, here, dude, you play a really good warlock or whatever. Here's this golem. You know?
Don't have to do that anymore. Because people will do it.
It's just weak. It makes me look at a once great company and think that
they're
maybe
still a great company.
Yeah. Okay, that's not fair. Like that sounds really. You're right. It's like straw man as hell. Like there's still plenty of great things with the game. I'm just at a frustrating point with it because all the things that I really really enjoyed about the integrity of the game, it feels like they're being reduced.
They don't charge me $15 a month, dude, and that's what I appreciate.
But how much do you spend a month?
It doesn't fucking matter. They don't require anything. They will allow me to play their game. The one thing that does kind of piss me off is me getting low priority. I got 5 games of low priority, and it wasn't my fault. Well, the second one wasn't my fault. The first one was my fault, but the second one was like a literal connection issue where internet went out today for no reason for like 7 minutes. And it was like, and I was like, no, because I abandoned yesterday because Xena, Belina came over, my stepmother, and I had to like go. And I was like, sorry, I have to. Like, I've got to go entertain the guests that I have now. And then today I had a connection issue, and it was like 2 days in a row. Both playing as Wind Ranger. Both games I was doing super good in.
I disconnect 3 or so times every game. Whether it's connection issues or me alt-tabbing out when I die and then going to click back in and it just goes dead. And it's just like, Valve, come on.
I don't have that many issues.
I'm on an i5 fucking Pentium processor, like 4.2 gigahertz, RAM, 16 gigs of RAM, a graphics card that was made this year, and I can't alt-tab out of your program.
You can. I was getting DXR issues or something like that, but that was few and far between.
But these are things that should be fixed before you launch a game and call it complete. And it's just their whole design philosophy is frustrating sometimes. I mean, it's really cool to be that hippie company that has an open floor policy where people go and work on whatever they want to. That's cool. I like that. But at the same time, when your current version of a game that's been out for several years is less complete than a beta of an old version, there's a problem there. And if people aren't saying there's a problem, then I kind of just look at that as like rampant fanboyism. Like, no matter how much you love a game, if you really love it, you'll be able to criticize it.
It's the community that we love too. I mean, it's that we don't want to see a good thing die.
And that guild thing makes me livid. Like, it really makes me livid.
Well, I remember when we first ported it over to Source 2, I never went into the beta. Remember when they were incentivizing you going to the beta, which probably would have been a good thing had most of us gone to the beta. That should still be going on now. It should still be going on now. But remember when it was a compendium challenge for the compendium for the international, it was win 15 games in the Dota 2 Reborn client. And it was like, no, I'll just play Source 1 because I know it fucking works great. You guys have worked out all the kinks. And then they just brought in a new system that just had a ton of kinks. I mean, if Source 1 still works well, like, go ahead and port us back. Like, you may lose like 5% more, but then you're going to stop and you're going to climb from there. And then you can re-release Source 2. I don't know, like, it's getting better too. Like, it has. It's gotten a lot better. They fixed set issues. They fix minor bugs.
They're fixing things one at a time, but it's kind of like, I look at it like this. It's like if you take a Word document, and this is a very, very simple analogy, and then you try to port it into like OpenOffice or something, and you just do a direct translation, some characters aren't going to go over. They're going to be blank or whatever. Or there's going to be like indentation or something like that. Mm-hmm. And so what pretty much happened is they didn't fix all that indentation and character transfer, and now they have a bunch of shit to fix. And that's fine. I can do that, but just like give me something that's functional. Like, I do get disconnected 2 or 3 times a game. And it's frustrating, man.
I don't have many connection issues, but I mean, I know the issue was not anything Steam related today that I had with it was definitely our internet that went out. But being put in low prio, like I busted through 3 of them today and literally got a guy that was drawing swastikas. And then another guy that repeated everything I said. And it was like, I was like, no wonder. Like, there were 2 people that were just like, no-brainers, definitely belong in low prio. Like, this guy was like, all right, I'm going to go mid as TA, and I can bottle start, because you have to do all random. Like, it's awesome, I can bottle start, and like, I can go mid and as TA, and because I can bottle start. I'm like, do you just repeat whatever? And I was like, wow. And just that quickly, I muted him. Was like, no fucking, like, wow. Like, they've done a pretty good job there keeping the bad ones out, dude.
Well, not
and those guys,
long.
like, no, they even disconnect. Like, I'm sure they have so many low priority games that it's just like, the end is never gonna happen. So they just get on to play one game maybe once a day just so they can do their thing. They've kept people who belong there staying there, which it's bad, but
it's interesting. The whole low prio system, I mean,
it sucks being there.
I guess it works.
It does, and the all random thing, that's a punishment. Like it's like, all right, sweet, well then maybe I can play like Meepo. I've been wanting to practice Meepo, and what game matters less?
People like me would just pick heroes that they knew they could try to either win the game at 30 minutes or get rolled by 30 minutes. You know what I mean? Like, you'd pick a Lycan and just go, like, straight Necro and just be like, I'm just going to rat and just transfer lanes and just try to, like, push it and hopefully have an opening. And
I've just been having fun with it, dude. I've been dying a lot. I've played Magnus. I've lost every single one of my low priorities.
Another thing
I don't even
is
care.
I feel like it's the general quality of games have been worse for me. Just for me, personally saying. Like,
I don't want to go back to Leshrac and Bloodseeker.
No, I don't mean meta in terms of meta. I mean in terms of, like, people being so unwilling to budge, and this is mid 3K level, and this like didn't even happen to me in Source 1 at like 2.6, 2.7 level, but I will pick support now. I'm playing support a lot. I'm getting ready for the support shows we're gonna start planning to do, and it's always 4 core 1 support in the past 20 games I've played.
Oh yeah.
And then you'll get dewarded, and people will bitch at you for the deward, and you're like, dude, I can hardly buy wards. Like, how am I going to...
That's when you just fucking mute and move on and say, like, these bastards are lucky they're getting wards at all from me. Being that support, there have been all sorts of arguments saying, like, yeah, it's going to do your team good. And even if you say you have the dumbest motherfucking stupidest Spirit Breaker, but hey, he's doing okay. He's farming all right. He's dumb as fuck, though. And you're a support. If you put vision up for that dumb as fuck Spirit Breaker, he's probably going to get more kills that will help your team win.
And it's not something you see directly. And that's hard for me, being high impact. But it's always like, in all my games recently, it's like anti-mage first pick. And you're just like, dude, why? Why not just wait? Why not let like the support pick first? Like, why not let me pick first? I'll play your support. But people are so unwilling to compromise that it makes me hate the game.
Well, join 82L then, you know what I mean? Like, I know you're in 82L, but I mean, like, if you have a, like, that's just like, that's what you're gonna get out of a scene that has no...
It's a corrosive scene that I forgot how corrosive it was because I had my...
There's no sheriffs, I guess.
Yeah.
Everybody's a sheriff.
But I had my community. I had the guild, and I had the 82L guild, and I had things like this that mitigated that.
Yeah, I was in 5 guilds.
Yeah. You had these things where you could hop on and you can have a conversation with somebody. Not someone trying to buy pot in your goddamn fucking local thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, come on, Val. What are you doing?
The local...
That's what I want to say to you. What are you doing? I want to walk up to Gabe Newell and I want to ask him, what are you doing?
Although a local guy won...
I don't care who plays in my town.
The worst way to die. A local guy won the worst way to die because I submitted in the local... send your submissions here. Type your submissions here for worst way to die.
And that's funny.
And a local guy, some guy from our town...
Are you ever going to meet up with a guy, though?
I didn't meet up with him.
Are you ever going to play a game with a guy from your local town?
Maybe. He's on my friends list.
Are you ever going to sell illegal drugs to a guy in your local
I'm not
chat room?
Buy or sell pot to anybody in my local town.
You know what I did, dude? I said, yeah, here, give me a call at this number, and I put the non-emergency line for our police department.
Oh my god.
And I was like, just call and ask for someone there. If only, dude. I doubt anyone fell for it. But just
That's...
stuff like that. It just makes me wonder what they are doing. Like where their thought process is at. Where they would ever think that a game that makes people like fucking stab each other to death in third world countries, it would be a good idea to put a regional thing.
What? People stab each other?
Yeah, there's stories in South America in internet cafes with Dota, the first Dota, like people being stabbed to death.
Oh my
it's
God.
not funny. It's not funny.
No, that's not funny, but
it's just how brutal people can be over like such like a game. Like you only understand if you play it. But like if you're an internet cafe and like
and they were probably on the same team together
exactly.
too.
And
that's
like,
the thing. You're never really that mad at your opponents.
It was a
You're
really third world country, and it was Dota 1, and it was like 3 years ago. Go look it up if you really want to. But what I'm saying is, where is Valve's mindset here? Where you're going to get rid of functionality on guilds of communities like ours, where we've put like so much work into gathering like 600 members, and you just nuke it. It's like, what are you guys doing?
Getting good people too, and weeding out like the
good people, getting officers, having a hierarchy of a system within a community where you promote people who do well for your community and your game, and kind of promote those ideals that make the game a good place to play.
No, but we have chat channels now, and it's like
we did before. Like, everyone tells me that. It's like, but you do have chat channels. Like, they added, like, great chat channel functionality. No, it's like an AOL chat room.
It reminded me of StarCraft.
1994.
It reminded me of StarCraft 1.
It's barely BattleNet.
BattleNet, yeah.
And it's not even BattleNet, guys. Like, I'm sorry to break it to you. Like, I know I sound bitter, but this is Wazoo's, like, soapbox episode to just, like, just for what isn't working for me in Source 2. And this, it's just like, what are you doing, guys? Like, that's what I want to ask. It's like,
it's like when they decided to add Scrappy-Doo to Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like, the show was fine, guys.
Yeah, it was like, it was good, man. You had a good thing going, and then what the fuck is this little cousin dog? Or you know what I mean?
And like the chests and shit, and I buy a compendium for $4.
I thought the keys idea was cool.
Should have got. Yeah, I like the keys, honestly, because that also created a system of income.
The story you told me, this is way back before I was even a big Valve fan. When for Gabe Newell's birthday or something, people brought him a giant.
I'll tell this story,
okay?
Because people have probably forgot, but a bunch of Team Fortress 2 4chan players went to Valve headquarters for Gabe Newell's birthday with a huge chest. And they dropped it, and he was like, "This is awesome." And they put a padlock on it, and he was like, "How do I get into it?" And they said it'll be $1.99. And so he had to give them $2 out of his pocket to unlock his birthday gift, and it worked. There was like a bunch of cool stuff in there, like so.
That's cool.
I liked the key system.
That's a happy community,
and also it gave things value outside of a dollar amount. Mm-hmm. Because I could be like, this is worth 4 keys, and you could give me that, and that's the equivalent to $8. Counter-Strike still works on that system, and it's weird because they have a more robust economy than our game, and it's hard with Dota 2 because there's so much stuff.
Because there's so many heroes too.
Exactly.
Is the thing. Like,
and if each hero has like even just 8 cosmetics, like we're talking like nearly 1,000 freaking items in the game, and that's huge. But you create tiers of items. You create, and I don't know. I'm sure that economist guy has a bunch of great points. It just gets over inundated, and there's just way too much. And like, how do you create value in such a system?
Yeah, he used like a bunch of like terminology that
a bunch of educated gobbledygook.
Yeah, that I was like, I know what you mean totally right now. Like, and I skimmed the article to begin with, but you know, he basically brought up some points, and that's how much I took from it. Honestly, it just seemed like some dude that was like, I know a lot about a lot of things.
You just go Attila the Hun on that shit. Like, that's all you do. Like, you set up community service, actual customer service, and it's an axe immediately with any of those scam or phishing attempts. And I'm not talking account ban, I'm talking IP ban. And if you get caught again on a different IP, then you just ban it. You just keep banning IPs.
Yeah.
Until you guess what? You can't play anything. Your entire account's locked. I don't care what you scammed on it. It's gone.
Yeah.
And that's how you do it. And instead of this, well, perhaps, you know, like these scam attempts where you try to like phish people's credit card information, you know, maybe we'll just whatever. It's like, come on, that's a serious scam. Anywhere else, if you're trying to scam like that, you go to jail. So, look, your account's gone. Your IP's banned. You're no longer allowed on Steam or Dota or anything else, any other product. Mm-hmm. They need to have people ready to do that. And then you reinstate a system where When you buy things, when I buy the chest, when I unlock it, whatever, it's mine. I can do what I want with that item. I can sell it. I can go buy Rocket League. I can give it to a friend who just started Dota. I can trade it for something else. That's how you create a system that's fun to play in. And you think like, sure, you can talk about an economy, guys, but this isn't real life. It doesn't have to be a perfectly balanced economy.
Yeah,
it needs to be fun.
It needs to work.
It's not fun.
They hired an economist.
Remember, no, I know they hired a Swedish economist.
We played a game where the economy did crash, and there was money involved in it because you could buy gold, and it was the Neverwinter Nights Online, and the economy crashed, and they had to backtrack the game 36 hours on an MMO. 36 hours on an MMO. Imagine all the items that dropped for the however many people that were playing and all the things that got reverted because their economy literally collapsed on this game. It no longer made sense. Like all of a sudden their auction house became a joke. Remember Diablo 3's auction house and what a joke that was? Where it was going to be that you were going to be able to sell in-game items for real money easily on the Diablo 3 client. Where it would just go straight into a PayPal account and you could sell that cool sword that Diablo rarely drops, and it would just like you could make money off playing Diablo.
Well, that was the Valve idea, though.
No, that's not Valve. That's
yes,
Blizzard.
It was.
Diablo 3's Blizzard.
Valve was doing that before then.
Oh, that was the Valve idea.
With the market, which is take 10% off the cut of every transaction, which they still do. But now they have this watered down system that like anytime I open something, it's like a wet noodle I pull out of a chest, and it's like, okay. I just got that thing I'll never use, and I can't sell it.
A lot of it does feel that way. I remember looking at the Scythe of Vice.
The Golem is a difference.
The Golem is cool.
Like, there's something... It's way cool. It's well designed. It's awesome. It would be cool to get one of those things, even if I don't play Warlock. But everything else is just like...
There's a lot of good ones out there still. It's just...
it's something.
I wish like I could be like, oh my god, like I have all these sets that equals $9.34. I want this Scythe of Vice for Nature's Prophet because that item is it's like $30 now. But I remember when it was like $80 or $90, and it was like the one item that I was like, I just can't justify spending $90, but that would be so sweet to have. And it would be cool that like if I could save up for it, you know what I mean?
What if they released like something like a name tag that you could slap on an item to make it marketable? For one or two transactions. 2 transactions, let's say. It would be called a magic label of marketability or some shit. I don't know.
Well, then nobody would buy it if it only had one market.
It would have marketable charges on it. Like,
dude,
there's obviously
you're not an economist because I don't know if that would work.
Everyone keeps telling everyone the economy will collapse. It's like, so that's how I feel about it, and that is why I'm not an economist.
Well,
but it's like
it would suck for you to have this. I don't know, the dragon claw hook, and all of a sudden it's worthless.
How would that happen? Like
I'm not an economist.
I don't see how that would happen because you still have items that
where they have to
bear difference from old items like the War Dog, the Enduring War Dogs that are still $400.
What are those?
They have like different effects that they launched.
Who are they for?
It was the Juggernaut War Dog, the Courier.
Oh, I've seen those.
And there'd be like a slight glowing effect, and those are worth $350, $400. Like the price is set by the rarity. But it's also arbitrarily set by people who just put it up for much money.
or the amount that come out and how much people like it.
It's just demand, supply and demand. I don't understand how someone can be like, this is some serious.
We should bring a Nooksy on and see and have her talk about is it better now or worse now to be a workshop artist? Is it more stable now, the work? Because now you just submit your stuff and
just make it akin to anything. Like, look, if I walk in and I buy a cool painting and Nooksy did, okay? Mm-hmm. And there it is. I have it. I'm not going to have, like, some fine print that says, like, I can never, ever, ever, ever sell that thing.
You can never sell it. You can never trade it. You can give it to one person.
You can only look at it once a day, lock it in a dark closet, and this work of art. It's like, it just feels so counterintuitive to this open system that they have going. A system that tries to get indie developers games onto Steam. I mean, you would never... And I guess how they mitigate that within the game system is you can buy it as a gift. And so why not give them that option? And I guess they did with the bundles in a way, but why not give it an option to be like, I don't play this hero, and so I can trade it. Okay? It's going to stay like that. But the second you equip it or something, like, I don't know, it just feels broken right now.
It does. Like I said, I remember when I could, like, right when Shadow Fiend Arcana came out, I, like, went through and I cleared my inventory, sold everything in my inventory that was of worth, and, like, you know, recycled for charms, or I don't know what the fuck I did with the other stuff that was, like, 3 cents that wasn't even worth putting up. And I bought that Arcana, like, mostly with items I already had, and I, like, only had to add, like, $9 of my own money to get the Arcana, and it was really cool and exciting. Then all of a sudden, like, these restrictions just, like, kept getting put on and put on and put on, and now it's to the point where it's like, I have the Shadow Fiend Arcana, and it's like, when I have it on, I don't feel like...
You guys should message that Reddit economist and try to get him onto a show. And just, like...
He's in school. He's not an economist. He's he's undergrad or some
whatever,
shit.
Nahaz or something. I'm sure you can do it.
Yeah.
But I just want to know, in what economic system is restriction ever a good thing?
They have a reason for it, and I'm sure they have a really good damn reason for it, because if
I
they're
think
taking
the reason
10%
is they got so many
transactions-
tickets from people scamming that they were like, fuck, we just won't let them trade it. That's what I think.
And
I think they come up with all this...
you don't know that, though.
Like,
you don't know that, though.
I can only assume with Valve at this point.
Yeah, you can only assume, and right now your assumptions are completely negative. I think they have good intentions, and I think that they want to make 10% off of our items. I absolutely do. I think that they want to make money off of us doing microtransactions.
I think a revenue generator such as Dota is not... They don't look at the small things that, like, make the game something that people want to stay in. And I don't think they take into account that it can be a very, very corrosive, cancerous environment to play in often.
So was StarCraft 2. So has every game online that I've ever played been a cancerous... StarCraft 2 maybe even worse, dude.
Not Battlefront, because you can't talk in that fucking game.
Okay, yeah, because you can't talk in the game. Like, sorry. The only way you're going to fix that is, like, please put in your driver's license here. Please type your social security number. Let us get a 3-dimensional picture of your face.
Attach these diodes that can shoot electric bolts into your neck.
Like, unless people have that fear of, like, going down the street and calling somebody like, you fucking douchebag, you're terrible at this game that we call life. Like, you do that to somebody on the street, like, who knows who you just said that to?
You get your ass beat.
Yeah, like, maybe you're going to get your ass beat. Maybe you're going to be embarrassed for how you acted. You're going to be held accountable.
Let me tell you a story real fast. Let's take a little story time.
Okay.
There was once a guy named Optic Dickshot. He's one of the people that I added and, like, insulted a bunch, and we just started insulting each other. And it turns out, might not be the same Optic Dickshot, but Optic Dickshot is in our local chat room. And so every time I get on and I see him there, I say, hey, Optic Dickshot, go fuck yourself. And I think that maybe one time I'm going to see him on the street, and he's probably like a huge, like, Semper Fi Marine Corps guy, and he's going to kick my ass.
Yeah, dude.
But this is like, just to go harken back to the point, I don't understand where you would take away people's ability to network and make friends.
There are good ones out there. You just have to weed through a lot of people. Like, that's why the guild was so awesome. Back to the guild. I guess we'll just call this the fucking guild show. But, like,
by the way, guys, go to the .p chat channel. They wanted us to plug that. And, like, that's pretty much it. I mean, people can come on and, like...
our Defense of the Patients. I think that's the best place to know what's going on.
And the Steam group as well.
But our Defense of the Patients it has kind of like a pulse on what's going on for the most part within Defense of the Patients at any given time.
I didn't like it for promotion, like the guild at all. Like, I liked it to hop on and just be like, hi, guys. And everyone say, hi, what's up?
Yeah, or like, my favorite thing to do would be like, 9 a.m. local time, which gets a whole different batch of people that were online in the guild. Maybe people that I wasn't as familiar with, and be like, I just got this new very rare blah blah blah, or I just got this new who wants it, and Easy started this, and whoever said something, the people that would be like me, or like I want it, like the first person, I would just gift it to them, add them as a friend and gift it to him. And
that's how you meet people.
And they'd be like, holy shit, like, thank you. Like, that's crazy. Thank you. And it's like, you're welcome. Who wants this? And like, and then just give away like that shit that like, I don't play anti-mage. I'll give this away instead. Like, it was fun. It was fun to do that. And I can't really do that nearly as easily now.
I feel like I was situated in a nice village where I had a good job. Like, it might not have been the most glorious job, but like maybe I was like a shepherd or something, and we had all this thing. We had a nice community, and Valve was like, "Have you heard of the ancient tales of Source Tooland?" Yeah. And it's like, "No, what is it?" And they're like, "It's incredible. Your FPS is way higher. Everything looks gorgeous. All the cosmetic shit is fixed. All the things are way better. Follow me." And like we followed them, and it's not better.
No.
And it turns out every promise that they made
but it gets better.
Maybe, man.
It gets better.
That's the thing. It's like I don't even know if I believe it. Like I feel like they're gonna patch it to the point where it's like gonna be like equivocal to Source 1.
It looks exactly like Source 1. They're like, fuck.
It just doesn't look much better. It looks different, but it doesn't look better.
Like a lot of the things that are grayed out. So they added a lot of cool things. First and foremost, that
let's talk about the good thing for the latter half of the show.
Yeah, we should.
The good parts of
the
Source
good
2.
things. It's badass for me to be able to click on you and compare my stats to yours and know how many rampages you've got. What's your average GPM, cool. XPM? What's your average stacked camps? And your little how much to see how people are. I don't know what that thing's called. Your little graph thing that graphs you on how much farm, how much fight, how much support, how much. Whatever the other categories are. I've looked at it a million times. I can't believe
that's pretty cool.
That's way cool. And to put my graph over your graph and be like, wow, I can see the differences in our play styles quantitatively. Like, that's really cool.
Wow, Optic Dick Shot sucks.
Yeah. Optic Dick Shot. I'm sure plenty of people have named themselves that. Yeah. Not
what does
surprised.
that mean? Anyway, but
just the names.
No, you're right. In terms of functionality and UI, it is worlds better, guys.
A thing that they were...
I will agree. I will concede on that point.
In the beta, it was broken, but it was still available to be looked at with the Heroes tab, where you could see your MMR or your approximated MMR for whatever hero.
They took that out completely.
Yeah.
They were just like,
what it's still there. It's just grayed out. You can't click on it.
They're just... Well, what does it even mean?
It's going to tell you, I don't know, heroes you're good with or something.
All that sounds like is something for like a 1300 or so player to be like, but I'm a 4K this. Yeah. So I'm a 4K player. And it's like, well...
Hey, that's true for a lot of 4Ks.
It is true, but it's arbitrary.
Like,
it's
people that just spam heroes.
Even if you just play that hero solid, you're not going to be that skill level. There's going to be like a median.
Yeah, I guess there will be a place where you have to zone out just because, I don't know. You can't really spam a hero without playing other heroes because you need to start to know how things
It becomes
work.
rock, paper, scissors. And that's the point I meant when you came on the show. I mean, Ursi talked to me about that and he was like, I disagree. And it's like, yeah, you can grind. I don't think you can grind one hero is what I mean by that. I don't think you can just grind one hero. Because it comes
Remember
down...
that guy that did 700 games at Kunkka?
Yeah.
I wonder what his MMR was. He did 700 straight games at Kunkka or something like that.
Yeah. How do you... What? He just must have been drunk on rum all the time. And he's just like, feeling Kunkka.
I don't know. Kunkka's
Captain
cool,
Morgan
but I don't want to play him every single game. I don't know. I think that's funny. I just get bored. And I love the fact that I have 110 options. And at the end of the day, the game is still free. The game, the little, when you click accept, and then it would show, before, it would just show all 10 green lights lit, even if they weren't.
Yeah.
It would be 8 out of 10 ready, but all 10 would be green. They fixed that, so that's cool. So, if it's 4 out of 4, only 4 green lights are there, or 4 out of 10, which is nice. They were supposed to fix pathing. I remember when Blue was they're coming out with a new source engine. This is in internet time, a long time ago.
Yeah.
And he's apparently there's going to be a huge pathing fixing. And it's there are moments in this game where I'm dude, no. You just want to reach in and no, that's not what I told you, man. I feel if I've noticed pathing.
You click to go around the ice wall and he turns back and then walks into the middle and then turns back and walks into the middle.
Or when you're in cogs and you go to it's just retarded.
I can kind of see the design philosophy here. And that's that. I mean,
heroes look better. The map looks better.
It does. But, if they really wanted to save a bunch of money and developmental resources, they could have let the mod community take care of that. And just let that be something that you could have a workshop for, and then all of a sudden you can, kind of like Skyrim, make your map look however the hell you want it to. and then you can monetize that on top of it. I mean, they could have mitigated that in different ways, is what I'm saying. But I can kind of see what they're doing now that we talk about it with the whole community thing. They want the Steam platform to be the community. They want you to be posting in the guild, in the Steam group, whatever. But I liked having it there in the game. And I guess I'm just resistant to change.
Yeah, people played other games, but people still always came home, you know what I mean, to Dota, and you'd see them, you know, sometimes it would take a little while, but you'd see them. Yeah, I think the guild function is something that needs to be there, and I cannot wait for you to implement that back into the game.
I just don't get it, Valve. Like Gabe Newen, or whatever your name is.
Gaben Newell.
I know his name. I wanted to, as an ability to like have him feel like we're not on the same level. Like I mispronounce his name, Gabe Newen, whatever your
name is again.
Listen, man, what are you doing with your game?
I'm sure they're freaking out. Okay, I'm sure they're like, oh my god. I'm sure they put up a whole bunch of job. I'm sure they're. I want to say.
I guess a game.
Hiring.
What I'm trying to say.
I want to say they're hiring.
Is a game can look like dog vomit, as seen by League of Legends. Like it can look terrible. But like, you need to not tease us. You need to not tease us with things like guilds and stuff where we work our asses off.
Well, and the Axe Immortal, remember? Or not the Axe Arcana or something like that. Or the Zeus won the Arcana.
It's just like the dad that never shows up for your fucking softball games and like
that's exactly
doesn't ever like get you Christmas presents and stuff. And he's like, "Sorry, champ, I just
it just didn't work out this time, but
I had something with work." But he kind of smells like booze, and you're just like, "Were you at the bar again, Dad?" It's like, "Nah, I had work." That's how heartbreaking it is for me because
that's really heartbreaking. Excuse me.
No, I've just had a run of bad games, guys, and this is like me stumbling out into the street, yelling at the raining sky.
I've been in jail, dude, and you're bitching like this. I've been in jail. I still have 2 more games of it.
Yeah, I at least like my recidivism. Like, even though I've been frustrated, like I haven't gone back to jail or anything. But
oh man, it's
all
bad.
These other systems and stuff, 82L, everything like that, like the whole custom game experience, all that, it's great. It really is great. But I'm not someone who plays custom games. So it's like that hasn't been something that's felt like a huge plus for me. You know.
That is a huge plus, though.
Yeah. And I'm sure like it is for a lot of people. But.
Oops. It got Audrey into the game. She started to understand Dota more. I appreciated that.
And that's why it's kind of interesting that they don't you're never going. It feels like right now, as things stand, you're never going to pull in players like her unless people have already played Dota 2 competitively, like we have. Like, and then be like, "Hey, look at Spin TD or something. This is cool." But like, I feel like if there was more marketing or something, like people could find that better. But Valve's not one to market.
You know, I don't know. I feel like we'll be humming a different tune here very, very soon.
Yeah, I hope so. I just feel like in terms of like, I have plenty of faith for the. I mean, you see some great Dota. But, like, even that is plagued by, like, disconnect issues. I saw this poor guy doing qualifiers a couple weeks ago for the majors. It was, like, Latin America qualifiers. And Beyond the Summit was giving him a chance. And the game disconnected and just wouldn't let him back in. And he was just like, "Oh, crap. And then he got it together. It was just him, too, by the way. Just him. No one to bounce off of. And he eventually got the game to reconnect and all that. And, like, this is stuff they've fixed for the most part. But... if you're going to make all these claims about better latency and connection issues being non-existent and stuff, like, you better fucking deliver, Valve. Gabe Newen.
Yeah. Well, I don't really have much more to add on this point, to be honest with you. Like, I feel like Source 2 is getting better. If we take from the day it came out to where it is now, it is like 150% better.
Yeah.
So, they'll fix it. They'll add guilds, right? You'll add guilds. And
put all of our old
members right back where they were.
I doubt they'll do that, but
and if they want to leave, they can leave. But we had a pretty good collection of people.
Well, this has kind of been a state of the game. Try smart Tuesdays, I guess. Not try hard, because we didn't really try that hard here. And it wasn't really that smart. So it was pretty much a bitch fest for me. Because, I don't know. I like to look at a game like this, like, you know, like Cheers. I mean, maybe a lot of you are too young to remember the classic sitcom Cheers, but it's a place where everybody knows your name. You know, you can go out into the cold, anonymous world of pub games, and everyone can treat you like a scrub. But then you can come home to the warmth of your guild hearth, and people there will know your name. And they will know who you are, and they'll know what heroes you play, and you can trade items with them, and it's an open system where you can do what you want, and you can appreciate each other for your individual personalities, not because you might live, you know, four houses away from Optic Dickshot or anything like that, but because you have this this understanding and value system that is similar based upon a game you love. And that's what Dota was becoming for me before the Source 1 reset. And I just hope it gets back to that point, you know? I hope they open up the market. I hope they let you do what you want with your little cosmetic items, because not doing so would be a fallacy. You know, bring the economy down, man. Let it rain.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. And also just create an open community where we can find our friends a little easier.
I would agree. I'll go ahead and give the plugs, and we'll end this Try Smart Tuesday, or Try Bitching Tuesday, or try to fix Reborn Even Better Tuesday. You can find us at defenseofthepatients.com, defenseofthepatients@gmail.com, YouTube /.ptv1. We are making some videos of Don't Stop Talking or This Room Will Explode. Basically, it's a bomb defusal game where somebody has to describe to you how to defuse a bomb while you defuse a bomb, and it's actually extremely challenging, and it's a really fun game, so look out for that on the YouTube channel. We'll be adding videos of that very shortly. We already have some videos made. You can also Twitter us at .p_show, at .p_wazoo, at MrBlue22. Yeah, and we should really have a Twitter for Tryhard Tuesday, but we don't.
We'll do it at some point. I mean, it's not on the top of our list. We wanted to make this kind of an episodic learning thing. So, all right, guys. Well, thanks for joining along for this. It was a little bit different of a pace, but we felt we'd done enough and we could give Blue a break, the brains of the operation. So, I don't know. Tweet at us your ideas and episodes and what you feel about this. Argue with me. If you're Optic Dickshot, I'm looking for you, buddy. And that is the entire show. So thanks, guys. Stay hard or smart and stay classy.